Hi, my name's Darren and I'm the machine shop supervisor here at Maton Guitars. Once the timber arrives, it's my job to dry the timber and then rehydrate it, grade the timber into various qualities and sort it into its components that it's going to be used for. Here at Maton we love our Australian timbers, and we love them for a few reasons. Because they're Australian, because they're a renewable resource, and because they're great tone woods as well. Now we've got some examples here. We've got some sassafras, which we use for our bass bodies. Some Queensland maple, self-explanatory where that's from. We've got some bunya pine, which is also from Northern Australia. And if you come around here, all this is our blackwoods, which comes from Victorian Otway ranges. And this is our favourite timber. And we use it for backs, sides, and necks, and electric bodies, their caps, and as many components as we can. It's a beautiful tone wood. I'm going to talk to you about grain direction now and why it's important in the processes. We've got some examples here. We've got some blackwood, and this is what we call quarter sawn grain direction. Okay, that's where you can see all the grain lines going that way. And we've got a piece of Queensland maple here, which is back sawn. Okay, and you can see the grain lines going that way. All the components that we use have to be quarter sawn for strength and stability. Okay, so something like the blackwood there, which will end up being sliced for backs. Okay, and we'll be slicing that across the grain like that. And what we'll end up with there is a sliced up billet like that, and the result being a book matched blackwood back. Like that, perfectly butterflied. Now with the Queensland maple, I said earlier all components have to be quarter sawn, and we're using a back sawn piece of timber here. What we'll be using that for is acoustic necks. And you can see that it's already marked out there. So when you cut that acoustic neck out, like that, you end up with the grain direction being quarter sawn. I'm standing outside one of our 3 drying kilns, and I'll take you inside now to show you what sort of timbers we dry in there. I call this the dry hot room. That's because it just pumps dry hot air in here, as opposed to another hot room which pumps wet hot air into there. That's for our really wet green timbers. This hot room's mainly for our timbers that are partially dry, and I set it at a temperature that's conducive to a various amount of timbers. Every timber takes a different drying process, but we have to store a lot of different types of timber in this hot room. For example, we have some ebony fingerboards, which is a very, very dense timber. And next we've got some spruce, which isn't so dense and can be dried at a much hotter temperature. But I have to keep this environment conducive to both. That's why it's only partially dry timbers that go in here. We also have some cedar for some faces, some spruce bracewood, which will be processed into internal bracing for the guitars, some Indian rosewood fingerboards, and we also have some mahogany and some more mahogany, which will be used for acoustic necks. So in order to dry all those timbers together, we have to keep this at a temperature and a moisture content that's not going to be detrimental to any of those timbers.